Hey boys and girls, thanks for stopping by. Well, our 69 Chevelle SS Revell kit, we're finally done. And overall, it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. There's always a couple of woulda, shoulda, coulda things that I wish I had done, but you know my saying, it is what it is. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the kit. We'll run through some of the modifications I've done to the box kit here in a second. If you watch some of my build videos on this car, I've run through some of the mods that I've done, but we'll point out a couple again for you. First off, we 3D printed some 23 and 19-inch wheels and tires for this baby. And the ones that I sell on off the sprue on my site that I 3D print, the 23s, I print them a little bit narrower than a lot of the other 23s that are out there. For example, like Pegasus. I like their wheels, but I find that their rears are way too wide to fit most of the kit's stock, unless you get into doing some tubbing. And I'm not always into doing some tubbing and modifications, so when I decided I was going to print my 19 and 23 combos, I was going to make the rears a little bit narrower than what the standard seems to be out there. So you guys that want to run these, you can tuck these 23s under the fenders without doing any tubbing, probably on 98-99% of the kits that are out there. So no muss, no fuss, and you don't need to worry about tubbing. Anyway, wheels are 4 pieces per wheel. Tires printed separate. Wheel ring is printed separate. Wheel disc again is separate, and all my wheels come with brake caliper rotor combinations. So you guys can run these 1923s on most of the kits that are out there without getting into tubbing, and you can keep them stock height or lower them like I do, like in the weeds. It seems to me one of my trademarks. I just like low and mean. Anyway, what else have we done to this baby? Let's get this light up here so it's not in my face. And we'll raise the camera. Going up. Coming down. There we go. Excuse me. And we'll run through some other things that we did to it. Got chrome foiling done on back window, along the roof line, up the A-pillar, across the windshield, down the other side. Not a big decal guy, so we just got the Chevy SS badging on the fender, and I've got the Chevelle decal on the rear trunk lid as well. Other than some caution labels and an inner fender label, that's all the decaling I really did on this kit. Not a big decal fan. What else? I'll swing you around. Yep, that's about right. Now, first off, we've got my 3D printed windshield washer tank, rad overflow tanks. And when I print these guys, I do them in white resin, and the lids I cast in blue resin, or print in blue resin, sorry. And so there's no painting required. Just glue the lid to the tank and glue them in the model. Voila, you're done. No muss, no fuss. What else have we got? I've got one of my 3D resin printed distributors in there. Brake master cylinder. They sell on the site. I've run some brake lines down from that. Used some really fine solder up and over the top to simulate the clip that holds the lid on the brake master. What else have we got? 3D printed carb for it. Got upper and lower rad hoses plumbed, and hose clamps are done on both the hoses as well. Upper at the rad, down at the engine. Made a little throttle return spring for it, just out of fine solder, and I just wrap it around a straight pin to get the diameter small enough. Batteries wired up, got that tied down through the inner fender, with a hole, real fine wire wrapped around, drilled a hole in the inner fender, wrapped the wire around, shoved it through the hole, and twist tied it on the back side. Swing you around. Backing up. What else have we got? Fuel filter is on there. You can't see it, but I've got one of my 3D printed fuel pumps on this as well. It's way down below. What else have we got? That's kind of about the mods that I've done to it. Interior, I didn't do anything special. The only thing I changed on the interior, of course, is I ran a different steering wheel on it. It's one of my 3D printed ones. They're up on the site too, guys and gals. Ran the stock exhaust down to the muffler, cut the tailpipes off. I didn't want the tailpipes coming out the backside of the car, so we run it up and over the rear end and out the back by the gas tank and angled them down, exit them just out the back of the rear tires, and just use some aluminum tailpipe tips on those. One other thing we've got coming up on the site soon, boys and girls, is some 3D printed mufflers. I'm just running through some test prints here. Going to make a couple of changes to this. But I've designed these so that you can run 3/32 solder through the hole in the front and the back. And the inlet and outlet are staggered. So you can actually reverse these. You can run the inlet close to frame rail or away from frame rail, depending on how you mount them. And the beauty of being able to use 3/32 solder to fit the hole on these is that you can run your exhaust with 3/32 solder and still use the 3/32 aluminum tubing for tailpipe tips that'll fit over top of the 3/32 solder. So those should be up on the site in probably next week once I got some bugs worked out in there. But yeah, things on the go. New stuff coming on the site, boys and girls. Keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, I'm going to start thinking about what we're going to build next. I got an idea, but I got to run through some plans behind the scenes on that one. And going back down. Are you going to go back down? There you go. Back down. Back up. There we go. Anyway, future plans. Probably going to do a older Ford kit, probably like a 32-ish Ford, I think. Anyway, got to run through some plans and figure out how I'm going to mod it and what I want to do to it. So we'll keep you guys up to speed and get another video up when we make that decision whether we're going to go through with that build or not. Anyway, as usual, thanks for stopping by. Y'all take care, and we'll talk soon. See ya.